Hey, what's up everyone? Josh here. Welcome to another video. We're kicking off summertime here in the old Hammond studios, and we're going to have some fun today and take a look at 3 different amp sims available from Bogren Digital. So if you're not familiar with who Jens Bogren is, he is one of the patron saints of the rock and metal production world. There's hardly a band that you love that he has not been a part of in terms of mixing, recording, producing, you name it. So the 3 sims we're taking a look at today are inspired by the likes of the Blockletter 5150, the 6505 Plus, and the EVH3. All killer choices in their own right, but why not take the master's take on what they should sound like? Let's listen to them in a quick mix, and then we'll dive into them together. Alright, so as you can hear from that mix, each of them have their own little characteristics going on, their own unique things that make them super cool. One thing to mention is that's all factory settings you heard. This is truly plug and play. None of that was me messing with anything or trying to manipulate the sound. We really want to get a good idea of what these will provide for you. So that is pretty cool stuff. Let's take a look here. We've got up first the BDH AMPKNOB 5169, the Blockletter style amp, and I just love how this looks. It's kind of like me. It's a little rough around the edges, not super pretty, but it's very loud and monstrous when it needs to be, right? So that is what's up. Let's hear how it sounds out of the box. Yeah, that's what we're looking for out of that Blockletter style amp, you know, just super chunky, crunchy where it matters, and even a little unruly at times. That's what we want to hear. Let's take a look at this interface real quick, because you're gonna notice this isn't like most of your amp sims nowadays where you have 15 different sections on it and everything's got 20 knobs to turn. No, the sweetness of these is in their simplicity. You simply turn them on, you pick where you like the gain, and then you play. All right, it don't need much thinking going on to get this to sound the way it's supposed to, and that's the whole point of this. So first we have an on and off switch, so you'll notice the power light fades away and then comes back on slowly like a real tube amp would. That's a pretty cool touch there. You have a pedal option. I'm not sure what pedal is being used to drive this, but I'm sure it's something we all know and love. Here's what it sounds like with it. Right, and then let's hear it without it, so you just click this button. And it's still very chunky, it still sounds good. But what you're going to use the pedal for in this one most times is to really tighten up that bottom end. So this is what it sounds like without it. And then you turn it on. Just gives you a little more control and a little more of a tight leash on that low end, which is good, especially when you start getting up into those higher gain ranges, right? Speaking of gain, the only knob that we really have to work with here, you know, the amp knob, is the gain control itself. Let's listen to how this sounds as we go through the different stages here. We'll start low. So this comes dialed in at a 7, and the 7 sounds pretty good to my ears. However, with these 5150 style amps, I usually go with the gain a little bit lower because I really like to dig into my strings. So this is where I would probably have it, as right at about a 6 or so. So that is obviously totally up to you. Wherever you put it though, it's gonna sound how it should. A few more features to take a look at, and really there's not many here, but that's the point. You have a tuner here, that sounds great. I usually mute my rig with mine. You can see my low C is kind of dancing around there. That's just what you get with these old Deans. They sound great, but they're a little unruly. Then you have the cab section here, and you'll notice we don't get this 3D modeled cab where we can move the microphones around and do all that stuff. No, this is either you want the cab or you don't want the cab. That comes with it. I like the cab that comes with it because, again, Jens Bogren, the master. I'm gonna go with his take on it. However, if you want to experiment, you can bypass the cab section altogether if you want to use an external IR loader, or you can load your own custom IR. So that is a nice touch. Moving on to the gear section, preferences, you can go mono or stereo, your choice, and then you have the DSP quality, which is your high right now, which is the oversampling option basically. And then you have the normal, which is a little more friendly to your CPU. The choice is yours, but the cool thing about these is they're very CPU friendly either way. So keep that thing on high, baby. So anyway, moving on, those are your basic features besides being able to make it bigger or smaller down here, and that's kind of the point. Don't have to worry about it much, just dig in and play. Good stuff. All right, so that is the BDH 5169, the block letter style amp here. Let's take a look at the next one, the 6606 Plus. Okay, here we are with the 6606 Plus, and this is, you can tell we're gonna get some heat with this amp. It's a little more evil looking. It is definitely amazing stuff. Let's put it at 7. This is where they dial it in to the factory and hear what it sounds like. Yeah, good stuff there. High gain, plenty of headroom, and you could really dig into that and get some awesome twang, man. This is like your Within the Ruins type stuff where you could really just beef it up. Let's hear what it sounds like without the pedal. Really nice. One thing I'm hearing in this that I love is even without the pedal, I'm getting that bite that I want. So check this out. I love, love, love that. And then with the pedal on, you know, we're just kind of taking it to the next level. Really cool. And then on the gain, where this is a really monstrous, you know, gain sweep on this. Check this out. Really cool. Now what you'll notice is we're getting a little more low-end beef out of it, it sounds like, as the gain goes up. So I'm not sure if maybe there's different IRs in there that are activating as we go to different stages. I don't think that's the case, but I don't know. And I don't need to. And that's the whole point with these, is it's just put it where you want it and go for it, right? So I typically, on my 6606 amplifier, like to have the gain right between a 5 and 6. I just think that sounds great for what I do. Really good stuff. And I also, on this one, like to keep the gate a little higher than normal because as you can hear here, once you get it down a little bit, especially with this guitar, this has a Dimebucker in it, it gets a little unruly. Nope. Well, I guess you have to turn the volume on. There you go. So I like to I like to keep my gate up a little bit higher on this one just because this is a pretty noisy guitar, but obviously that is your choice. So there's your 6606 Plus. This is gonna be your high gain monster. You know, you wanna do the genty stuff, this will do it for you like a gentleman. So number 3 here, fittingly, is the BDH III. And this is a really cool looking setup here. It's, you know, the same layout as the others, but you got the chicken knob here, you got the actual toggle switch, which I think is a nice touch. I love the white Tolex, it just looks the part, right? Let's hear how this one sounds. Whew, yeah. You hear the crunch, and that's what the BDH III to me is all about, is the crunch where it counts, but still sounding beefy enough on that low end to do anything you want it to. And you'll notice it's not quite as bitey as the 6606 Plus. It's just got its own thing going on that I really, really like, especially if I'm gonna play something that isn't so crazy high gain. Now they have it at a 7 on here, but I like to dial this back to like between 4 and 5, and I really love to use this for my rock and roll or power metal type stuff. It just has a crunch factor to it that stays no matter where you put the gain. It's just got the right balance for me for that type of stuff. Or if you want to play some punk rock type stuff, I'll even dial that back down to like a 4. Really cool. And then what you can do with this is if you want to play some really articulate stuff, you know, you can get that really poppy, articulate stuff that's got the right amount of crunch to it to keep that clarity. Let's hear it without the pedal real quick at where they have the gain dialed in. So without the pedal, it still sounds good, but it's not quite as crunchy in my book. I like to have the pedal on to tighten up that low end a little bit and then make those mids kind of pop out. Yeah, I like that. So that is pretty cool stuff. This, in my book, is a very versatile amp here. They all are, but this one I really like the lower gain choices it offers. I mean, let's take it all the way down to like a 3 and just kind of hear what that does. Really good stuff. You know, you put bass and drums behind that and that's going to sound awesome. All right, everyone. So there you have it. Whether you're new to the amp sim world or you're an experienced user, using the BDH line of amp sims makes things easy and effortless when it comes to getting that monstrous production-ready guitar sound into your mixes, into your practice sessions, or wherever else you see fit to use them. And at the end of the day, all of that combines to just being a damn good time playing your guitar and not having to overthink things. That's what it's all about. Hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me today as we demoed these. Check out the description of this video for a link to the website. We'll see you on the next video.